Hello, everyone. My name is William. I am Will, because well, I am. Okay, I want to talk about something in this video that might be a little touchy for um, a lot of people that I've saw actually um, in the society that we live in that some of the things that they do. But first, let me say this right here. Um, can't share any more music with you guys because of copyright issues that if I sit and share my music with you that I'm listening to at the time I'm making this video, that it would be a copyright issue. So just sharing with you why I'm not going to do the music anymore. All right. Um, all right. This is for like people that live by the Holy Bible. Okay. Um, I see people that work in different restaurants and stores and things like that, and they deal with meat products, beef, pork, turkey, chicken, liver, fish, different things. Okay, and I see people who are putting on the gloves to deal with the food, as far as with the meat. At like restaurants, people put on the gloves when they make sandwiches for people. And what I see is that a lot of people take it for granted that everybody else wants to participate in meat products cross contaminated by the touching of the gloves from one piece of meat to a different kind of piece of meat. I don't think it's cool. And I think that maybe the corporate offices of these different businesses and establishments and restaurants wouldn't approve of the type of conduct that I see in these places. Okay? So I'm a vegetarian. So if I'm a vegetarian, okay, and I go into a restaurant to eat, and I notice that the person who is fixing the meat, like hamburgers, chili, steaks, and things like that, they're touching the meat with their gloves. Okay? And then they turn around with them same gloves, grab bread with the meaty, juicy hands, them gloves, and they grab bread to make a sandwich for a vegetarian or for some, or for another issue. And they're taking it for granted that, it's okay to do that. And it's not cool. Okay? And the reason why I brought, people what people live by as far as the Bible is because even in the Bible, it speaks about a swine as something negative, something bad, something icky, nasty. Even in the Old Testament, it speaks about swine in a negative manner because you're actually commanded not to eat swine. Pork. For y'all you don't know what swine is, it's pork. So in the New Testament also, it gives a negative connotation to pork. Don't cast your pearls amongst the swine. You know what I mean? So why would you say, "Oh, God said if it's clean, it's clean"? Okay, but you're taking the you're pulling that scripture out of context and you're using it for what you want to use it for instead of using it for the purpose it was used for. Thus was used for people back in that day that didn't have um, the, the specialty meats to eat. So all the kings and all the noblemen would eat all of the good parts of the cow and the pork and the chicken and turkey and all that stuff. Okay, and so the only thing that was left was the scraps, the bowels, the intestines, the liver and the feet and the ears. And this is where the eating of pig ears and pig feet came from, and cow tongue and liver and gizzards and stuff like that. Because these were poor people that didn't have anything to eat for them to sustain them. So rather than to sit out there and starve, okay, the Lord sent a message to the people. It says, wait a minute, you pray over it and you eat it because I don't want you to starve. That's not in my will for you to sit out here and starve because you don't have any food to eat or meat to eat in those days. They didn't have grocery stores back then where you can go and you can buy meat and buy different foods. So these people ate the scraps of kings and noblemen and all the other important people, and then the only thing that was left was the scraps, was the pig feet, was the ears, was the intestines. And this is why people eat chitlins and stuff. This is where all this stuff come from. Okay? But you still, even though you think it's okay to eat pork if you pray over it before you eat it, okay. Now, it still has a negative connotation. And it still works against your body. Okay? The cow was picked as an animal that was okay for you to eat because it has veins throughout its body, throughout its skin to keep it clean. We as human beings with these bodies, we have veins throughout all of our body and throughout our skin to help it keep it clean. So the cow was more compatible for humans to eat. Now, swine, pigs, pork, it don't have veins throughout its whole body and throughout its skin to keep it clean. It only have main arteries, so it doesn't keep the meat clean. So it's not compatible with your structured body. Okay? So now, in these days, in these times, you don't have to be forced to eat pork, pig feet, chitlins and all that other stuff. You don't have to be forced to eat that stuff. You don't have to be forced to even touch it anymore. Because you have more variety of things that you can eat now. You can go in a grocery store, depending upon what grocery store you go to, and get bargains and deals on what you eat. So you can afford some meat, whether it's chicken, turkey, beef, fish, okay? There's no excuse for anybody to even keep interacting with pork. But I'm not going to judge you for eating pork, and I'm not going to put you down for eating pork. I'm just saying that, I'm trying to help you and encourage you to have good healthy eating practices, and to have those practices for other people so they can be healthy too, instead of you, because you eat pork and you work in this restaurant, that you think it's okay to cross-contaminate the pork with everything else. There's some people that don't even want to even be bothered with it, don't want that stuff. So if you would do your practices like you're supposed to do your practices, you know what I mean, according to the Board of Health and according to common sense, okay, you want to change your gloves if you're making something different, like a hamburger, and then you want to make a sausage sandwich. Change your gloves in that process, because that's what you guys tons and tons of gloves for. So I'm sharing this because, it's getting harder and harder for me to be able to go out and grab a bite to eat if I don't have anything to eat right then and there. Okay, it's getting harder for me to be able to do that because you guys don't have respect to nobody else. You think just because you believe that the Bible tells you that it's okay for you to eat pork, that means that it's okay for you to cross-contaminate everybody else's food with pork because you mess with the pork. So, I hope I said this in a way that it don't hurt nobody's feelings and it don't put anybody down, make anybody feel bad. But I'm just getting tired of going to like Subway. Well, I don't want to, getting subs and stuff. I don't want to mention anybody's name or anything like that because I don't want to put nobody's business out, nothing like that, okay? But there are some places that I actually go to that actually do these practices. And if you bring it to their attention, they'll get very, very angry at you and mark you as a difficult customer to deal with. So I'm putting this video out there. Hopefully people, when you watch this video, that you might say, hey, you know what? Will is making some sense here. Maybe I might start having respect for other people and what other people is trying to do. You know what I mean? And instead of always about what I want for other people to force on them your pork beliefs. You know what I mean? So even with hamburger juice, I'm like, wow, I want a veggie sandwich, and I got to deal with telling you to do the thing that's right when you're in the kitchen. It's work with common sense and be clean, with good hygiene and good, practices when you make people's food. I'm serious, man. I hope somebody that looks at this video and can say, hey, you know what? I'm going to change the way I do it, because I'm quite sure if you walked into a restaurant for you to have some food and you saw somebody dealing with bloody meat or some nasty garbage and trash with some gloves that they got, and they turn around and make you a sandwich with it, I'm quite sure that you would not like that. Well, you know what I mean? So it's the same way for me when I see they're using the gloves to deal with the meat and then try to make me a vegetarian sandwich. You don't like them practices. So do unto others as you want them to do unto you. If you don't want nobody to serve you with nasty practices and things like that, then maybe you should stop and think like, okay, maybe I shouldn't do that. Because there are some people that believe in the Bible and live by the Bible, just like you say you do, that don't believe in eating pork. So you have two sides, you know what I mean, to the same world. There's some people that live by the Bible believe that it's okay to eat pork if you pray for it before you eat it. Pray over it before you eat it. And then there's some people that believe that you're not supposed to eat pork because your original order said do not put pork into your body. That's the original order. So, wisdom. Wisdom is going to help us get through this. Wisdom is going to help us understand what we're supposed to do and what we're not supposed to do. Versus what man wrote and what God inspired, God write what God said. So if you believe in God, if you believe in all that. But I'm just saying, if it speaks negative about it, why would you go and you put that in your body? Why would you go and you put that in your body and think it's okay for you not to get sugar diabetes, high blood pressure, and worms in your body and all this stuff? Why would you think that it would be okay to do that? Because you pray over it before you eat it? Yeah, right. It still don't stop people from getting sugar diabetes and high blood pressure, does it? So let's wake up a little bit and understand some wisdom here. We're not in those times to where we're forced to eat anything for survival. We have options here. Okay? So I'm not getting down on you for eating pork and stuff. That's on you. That's what you believe in. But I'm speaking to you about you taking your beliefs and your practices out into the business place, into the community, and expect for the community to accept and interact with your practices in your own home that you bring into, these establishments, these restaurants, these professional places. And I wish you wouldn't do that. Please don't do that. And I'm sorry if I sound a little bit overbearing or if you hear some agitation in my voice or anything like that, but it's just ridiculous. I'm just asking for a little understanding here. Help me apply some wisdom to this situation, to this matter. All right. With that, I'm gonna go ahead and leave this alone, and you guys have an excellent day, and thank you for watching my video. Again, my video is not intended to antagonize anybody. It's not to hurt or put anybody down or hurt anybody's feelings. It's only meant to bring some awareness so that we all can apply some wisdom and some understanding. If you hear in this video, I'm giving you a little bit of instruction also, if you can handle taking instruction. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna get out of here, and you guys have a very good day, and thanks for listening to my video. All right, I am Will. I'm out. Thank you.